Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Yeah, I could use a dream or a genie or a wish to go back to a place much simpler than this. Cause after all the partying and smashing and crashing, and all the glitz and the glam and the fashion, and all the pandemonium and all the madness, there comes a time where you fade to the blackness. And when you staring at that phone in your lap, and you hoping but them people never call you back. But that's just how the story unfolds. You get another hand soon after you fold.
Right then, another week, another existential crisis? Hopefully not. It has been up and down, mostly down on the standard of golf front, but I am putting in the work, I am putting in the hours, I am finding it very frustrating how my brain appears to be inept when it comes to telling my body what to do or making it do something different from what it's used to. But I guess that is the pain of a fairly ground up swing change. Good news is that this week I'm going back to see Anders for my second lesson. I think I need to speak to him about kind of a conceptual understanding of what it is I'm trying to achieve and really just on a very granular level figure out the movement of my body through space, because something just isn't connecting properly right now. I have no doubt that what he's trying to get me to do is the right thing, but I seem incapable of doing it. And really at this point, I'm not even sure I understand quite what it is I'm supposed to be doing, let alone being able to execute on it. So I'm looking forward to that very much. Will it pay off with immediately fantastic golf? Probably not, but will it help me for the rest of the week and the days to come in terms of being able to make some more progress on my own at the range, etc.? I hope so. Other than that, I have a relatively good week in terms of available time for practicing. I'm going to be able to get to the range plenty. And then I've got the next round of Winter League, drum roll for that, potentially another round with some friends, and then should be able to get out once, if not twice, just solo for some on-course practice as well. So it's not been great, but the spirit is still willing. The body is achy, but the mind is willing.
Realized his spirit was willing, but the flesh was weak.
And I'm just going to keep going. And hopefully this week I can start to see some green shoots of progress, at least understanding the direction I'm trying to move. Right, I'm back at the scene of last week's horror show and going to hope that it can go slightly better today. I don't honestly know if it will for a few reasons. One, we have had so much rain. I'm actually astonished that the golf course is even open. Credit to them that it is, but what it's going to be like out there, I have no idea. And it's actually started raining now as well. So I don't think conditions are going to be wildly conducive to good golf. I'm going to try to clear my head a bit. The mass of swing thoughts swirling around is clearly not conducive to good play, and for now I think I just need to get some feels back and try to be a little bit more target orientated and less in my own head. So see what the day brings. As I say, conditions wise it's not it's not great, but hopefully the golf can be an improvement on the last couple of rounds. Frankly, it would be hard for it not to be, and hopefully I don't get too soaked out there. So this round was interesting insofar as it was every bit as deeply average overall as my recent rounds have been, but kind of for the opposite reasons. I actually hit the ball really quite well off the tee, and my iron game was okay. It was actually my short game which let me down. That's sort of been the only thing that's been saving me in recent rounds, but I bladed a couple of chips really badly on the front nine and threw away a couple of shots that way. I did also hit my tee-ball OB on the fourth, so dropped 2 shots there. One thing I will address, because a few people have called it out and it seems to be triggering them, is the fact that I don't hold my finish through my swings. It is something that annoys me a lot. Also, I don't realise I'm doing it or not doing it when I'm out on the course. It's only when I come back and review the footage later that I see it happening. So that is something that I need to be mindful of when I'm playing, because it really does wind me up when I'm looking back at this later on. Hit a couple of really good shots into par 3s here. This was one of my better strikes on the front nine, but it was just one of those days where everything was a little bit middling. I have noticed on shots like this that my alignment isn't great when I'm chipping. I seem to be opening up my stance way too much and aiming too far left, so that is something I want to watch out for next time I'm on the course. What is interesting and I guess pleasing is that I am able to see quite a noticeable difference in my body movement and my swings from this round and the round which will come up at the end of the video. That was after my lesson with Anders. This was my best shot of the day, so thanks for walking in front of the camera there. Unfortunately, I missed the birdie putt. That was something that would happen a couple of times this round. Decent approach shots that I failed to capitalize on. Overall, it was fine. It was more enjoyable than my recent rounds have been. The score wasn't necessarily any better, but I felt slightly more optimistic afterwards. In the end, it was an 86, so that doesn't do anything positive or wildly negative for my recent scoring average, but I did start to see signs of progress. You'll see in the kind of debrief in the car afterwards, I could feel some very slight changes in my swing while I was going around there, and hopefully that is something that I can build on going forward, and it is something that I feel like I built on later in this week. So it wasn't meaningful change or didn't move the needle wildly, but it was probably a better round than I've had of late, and something to be grasped onto, as it has been a little bit dark recently. I know people have said I've been overly negative, and that is true, and that is also something that I am working on. Okay, just back home from Whittlebury. Obviously that was quite bad. I think I shot exactly the same score as I shot last time I played around there, which was deeply middling. There were 4 swings where it felt different in a good way, whereas at the moment most of my golf feels different in a aliens have inhabited my body and I don't know how to move it way, which isn't great for golf. There were just like really glimpses, and I might look back on the video and go, oh wait, it wasn't different, or it wasn't any better. So I'm going to cling to that though, because right now I need to cling to something. So it was some golf. It was a nice day and enjoyable. Actually was enjoyable this time, even though the golf was still pretty poor. Weirdly, I felt better about my game despite scoring worse than when I was out at Stratford Park. But yeah, I don't know. It's still not good. Luckily, I have a lesson very soon, so hopefully that will make everything all right forever. Right, back here for lesson 2 with Anders at Leicester Golf Centre. As you can see from the headwear, we have got a cold snap in the UK. It's actually nice and sunny, but it is freezing. As you can or have also seen, I can't play golf anymore. I have lost my swing. My swing is broken. My brain is broken. So frankly, I am just going to be throwing myself at Anders' mercy, going back to absolute basics. What I need, as well as a golf lesson and possibly an interventionist, is to understand both conceptually and physically what I'm actually trying to do, because personally, until I understand what I'm trying to do, I can't even set about doing it. So just need to wind it back, get some basic understanding of what it is I'm trying to achieve, still the mind a bit, and hopefully just becalm everything. I know it's going to be a long process, and actually it's not even the playing badly or getting worse to get better that's bothering me. It's the kind of full brain scramble, head fried cluelessness at the moment. It's not like I know what I'm trying to do and I just can't do it, because that at least would allow me to aim towards something in terms of wanting to progress. Right now I just don't even know what I'm trying to do. So I'm sure Anders will fix it, or if not fix it, help me understand what it is I'm trying to fix, and then hopefully I can go and do it. Easy. Just a mix of everything. I'm very, very in my head.
Yeah.
And so when a lot of the stuff I've probably played 3 times since I saw you, and I've probably been to the range 4 times.
Yeah.
So I'm trying, but I'm standing there trying to keep too many things in my head, but also thinking, you know, am I flexing my knees too much? Am I not flexing them enough? Is this a turn? Is this a slide? Is my arm, you know, because initially I was thinking a lot about the hand path stuff that you showed me and we talked about, and keeping this elbow tucked in. But I realized that actually all I ended up doing was my hand was still coming this way, even with my elbow tucked in here. I was just going that way.
Yep.
So then I became more concerned about going here, but then I'm struggling to understand, if I do this, am I not just going to start whipping the club inside like I used to? Just a bit scrambled.
Yep.
As you can tell, I'm quite. I'm an analyzer, possibly an over-analyzer.
Yep.
And I think for me, I need to understand because I'm putting in the hours, but I don't feel like I'm making any progress. And I think I don't really know what I'm trying to get to, if that makes sense. Like I don't know what, either conceptually or physically, what I'm trying to hit, right?
Okay.
And I'm fine with not being able to do it, but I'd like to know what I'm trying to do.
What we need to establish is the facts, some clarity of what is really happening here. Now, you've said you've hit some fats.
A lot of fats.
Some big lefts. Have you shanked anything?
Yes. Yeah, see, fat, lot of that's happening.
Okay.
And not a lot of that.
Okay. Keep going. I'm pretty pleased with it.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay.
Those shots weren't very good.
No.
But I'm pretty pleased because what I've asked you to work on, you've worked on. Okay. The grip and the club face by a mile was your most important thing to get right, because we're never going to go anywhere without fixing that. Your version of your golf swing, which is completely exaggerated, but it's like this. Watch my legs. So as I go up to the top here, there, can you see how there's a little bit of flex here?
Yes.
It's quite an athletic feel to that.
Yes.
I'm getting to the top, it's turning, it's coiling. I feel it here and there. You might feel it elsewhere, but it will be tighter, it will be more athletic, it'll be stretched.
Yeah.
From this position, I am able to move my weight, my hips initially across.
Okay.
That is a lateral move, it's this way.
Yeah.
It's significant, it's not a tweak, it is a shift.
Yeah,
okay? That's going to take my centre of gravity across, which would move my low point to where?
Forward.
Of course it has.
Yeah.
It's not going to be back there, is it?
No.
Now, you don't have that move yet. We're going to change it today. We're going to hit some low drawing, low hooking wedges. Okay. I don't know if I've ever showed you this before, but it's brilliant.
Okay.
Just a tennis ball chopped in half.
Yeah. And
this actually was shown to me by a biomechanics guru who teaches on the tour, and this is what he uses to show tour pros how to generate more power. In this instance, it's not about generating more power, it's about generating a better technique, but it has the same effect. I'd like you to get to the top like that. This, you're squashing now. You're squashing this half a ball down. And as you start down, this is your number one most important move for today, is you're going to get squashing this one. Set up where you're comfortable. And then lift. It's got to come forward, actually. There. Okay, so as you take it back now, retain a little bit of flex in your legs, squash this one down. Now, this is the key move. You're going to move across here now into the ball of this foot, and it's a sizable shift, yes. That move, Joel, for you, this one, of shifting laterally into that ball, is probably a new one, I would suspect. For sure. Because it's kind of opposite of where you've been. Good, and again. That's lovely. So if I put, let's say we have the ball positioned in the middle of the feet normally for a mid-iron. If I move the ball back in your stance a bit, temporarily, you'd be better. Because I've moved the ball to accommodate a faulty low point. It's not really going to make you any better, to be honest. It's just going to look better. To me, that's the counterproductive, really. If on the other hand I said to you, right, Joel, I want you to move the ball so far forward in your stance that it would almost be where you'd position a driver, but we're using a 9-iron. What do you think your likely outcome's going to be?
Got to go get it. Got to go forward.
You're going to have to move a hell of a lot to get it.
Wow.
Well,
cool.
That's an impressive start.
Yeah. I mean, I actually felt my back go like that for the first time in a long time.
Great. They're proper strikes, Joel.
Just play from here.
So, if you now move laterally, so you're going to move your weight across to your left into the ball of the foot. And that move here, can you feel how this is very close?
Yes.
I've deliberately pushed your club head behind you now. Okay. That's an exaggeration. If we end up here, that's fantastic. This one is going to be the best thing for your swing path ever. If your swing plane is neutral there, you're going to leave these alone, aren't you? If you get yourself into out, it's kind of where I'm encouraging you at the moment, because you've been the other way. You'd never hit any.
No.
Joel, if you do the old one,
big old mess.
You're taking quite a few of them with you. Yeah, well done. And again, this is good now. Keep building some speed into it. Well done. Well done. Joel, that is fantastic, you know. It's going to be a fun couple of weeks for you.
Yeah, exciting. Cheers.
Done well.
Appreciate it. Okay, well, that is why you pay for golf lessons. That was really good. It was reassuring in the ways I needed, not just to feel better about myself, but to know that all of the stuff I'd been doing actually was making a difference. And some of the early video we put up, you could see it. So that was good, because it means I haven't wasted all those hours. And then we made progress and started to address the things that quite obviously need addressing, which is weight shift, trying to get that low point, you know, beyond the ball. Path is just a big thing. And really importantly for me is just some drills which help, because there's only so much field work I can do before, as we've seen last week and the week before, I can drive myself mad. Just second guessing, going, am I doing this? Am I not doing this? So a couple of really good drills that'll give me instant feedback on what I am doing. And then once the sim is set up as well, obviously I'll have data there specifically around path, etc. So really enjoyed that. Not to say I'm going to start suddenly playing well, but at least to understand that there is progress and there is movement in the right direction. So that was good. I have hit a lot of balls in the last 4 or 5 days. So I think the rest of today, I'm just going to maybe ice my shoulder and take a beat, because what I do not want to do is what a lot of people have warned me about, which is just go ham and basically get back, elbow, etc. injuries, and I can just feel it starting. So ease up for the rest of today. I will probably get back to the range tomorrow, but it probably won't be 300 golf balls being struck off very firm range mats, but there will be something, and those drills will definitely be making an appearance between now and my next lesson with Anders very frequently. Okay, so yesterday's lesson with Anders was extremely encouraging and good. I felt reassured somewhat that there had been some progress in the 2 weeks since I'd seen him, and also what we worked on yesterday was very kind of exciting in a way. The idea of being able to actually progress forward to, getting some proper compression, getting some shaft lean, getting my low point ahead of the ball. I know those things aren't going to happen straight away, but to be in a place where we're working on that is really encouraging and exciting, and I'm hoping that that is the kind of thing that will make a meaningful difference in my scores and in my handicap. The really big thing for me was finally understanding, at least in theory, what I should be doing with kind of my legs and the pressure in my legs. Anyone who's seen the videos will see that I have a tendency to kind of get very leggy. The right leg overly straightens, and there's just more movement than there should be. But the drill we did with the half tennis balls under the feet, and in particular pressing into that right heel, was the first time I've really understood what I should be doing and how I can still kind of turn and brace and use the ground without overly extending that leg or kind of standing up or lifting off too much. So I know it's going to take a ton of work and probably a ton of time to start to actually ingrain that in my golf swing. But just from a kind of light bulb perspective, that was a really important moment. And as I said in the lesson with Anders, I am someone who needs to at least conceptually understand what it is I'm trying to do before I can convince my body to do it. So I was really encouraged about that. So just wanted to take a minute to kind of move away from the on-course stuff for a bit. Obviously this journey is about golf, but it is also about all the things that go into golf improvement, and quite a few people have asked some questions about various things. So I just thought I'd take a minute to answer some of those. And also, frankly, because I am in a bit of physical discomfort, I've got a niggling, nagging thing going on at the top of this left shoulder, and I really, really don't want to derail myself or get injured this early in the process. There are people out there, there have been people in the comments who have said, you need to be hitting 1,000 balls a day, you should be playing 18 holes every day, etc. And I don't know whether that's true or not. What I do know is that if I do that right now, I'm going to get hurt, particularly as if I do that right now, my only real way to do any kind of range work is off some very firm range mats, and frankly that is just a recipe for disaster in terms of elbows and shoulders and things like that. Very excitingly, as I am filming this, the guys are in the garage doing final measurements for the work on the sim conversion, which is going to start in just a few days from now. And when I'm in there, I will be able to have a much nicer, plusher, less bone trembling hitting mat, and that's just going to be huge. I'm so excited about that, not just because it'll be really fun, but I think it's going to open up a world of possibilities for training and feedback and all of those things. In the winter particularly, the weather's not great. We're on temporary greens at the home club for the first time, so that gives you some kind of indication of the temperatures. It has actually snowed slightly, so the sim is going to be massive, so I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, I probably am going to go and hit some balls today, but I can't go too mad for the next couple of days because I can feel a sort of niggling injury coming. Anyway, just to answer a couple of questions that people have asked so far. So in terms of my handicap progression and kind of score milestones to date, about this time last year, I was a 17, a high 16, something like that. So my handicap's dropped basically 7 shots in the last 12 months. Obviously I need it to drop just over 10 shots in the next 12 months if I'm going to achieve my goal. I did play quite a lot of golf this year. I probably played about the same amount the year before. I didn't train as much this year as I did last year. So most of that progress has come from just course reps. I didn't have a ton of lessons this year either. A lot of that improvement came down to things like chipping. My chipping got a lot better this year, thankfully. But I think there is a lot of improvement and gains to be had through just getting in the range, getting in the sim, and getting consistent lessons. Again, this year was a weird one, not a great one on some levels in kind of personal terms. So it just meant practice fell down the priority order. Obviously, practice is very much up the priority order at the moment with this whole endeavour. So yes, I need to shave off more strokes in the next year than in the past year. I think I can do that. Obviously, that's why I'm here, but that's kind of where my handicap has moved in the last 12 months. As for scoring milestones, there is a couple of late. So in September this year, I broke 80 for the first time. I had come agonizingly close several times before. I shot 80 on the number, I think 5 times in the previous few months. But yes, I finally managed to get it over the line and shot 78. Nearly threw it away with a very ugly, nervy double on the last, but got there in the end. And then earlier in the summer, I shot an 80, but off the back tees at Whittlebury, which is kind of 6,650, 6,700 yards. And actually 80 off the backs is a lower differential than 78 off the yellows. So I think that was a 5.4 differential. So that is my lowest score differential to date. Now I need these kind of scores to become the norm, and that obviously is the goal, and I need to put in some much lower ones. That is, very much on the agenda, but those are my lowest milestones to date. And then one other thing, some people have been asking about what clubs I'm playing, what's in my bag. I will do a proper what's in my bag video at some point. Hasn't changed that much this year, so if you are interested, there is a video from, I don't know, 8 or 9 months ago, I think, on the channel, which details it. The only difference from then is my new driver, which is the Titleist GT2. There's a fitting video on that, and there's also a kind of have I improved or has this driver improved me video as well. So if you're interested in the driver, please do check that out. And then I did also do a very quick what's in my bag on Instagram a couple of days ago, or maybe a week or so ago when this is going to come out. On which note, if you are following along, if you are interested in the journey, please do follow on Instagram. I put out stuff every single day there. Some of it overlaps with the YouTube content, some of it stands alone. Either way, I would really appreciate it if you could go and drop me a follow on there. The Instagram numbers are pretty small compared to the YouTube numbers. And frankly, the reality of this is that the higher the following counts can get on YouTube and Instagram and anywhere else, the more opportunities I'm going to have to create content, the more opportunities I'm going to have to go to other courses and film out there, and just the more stuff I'm going to be able to do and document on the channel and for you guys as well. So if you would be so kind, it's just at Golf Life Crisis. As I say, there is a what's in the bag in there, and there's other stuff, clips, practice routines, drills I'm doing, just a kind of day-to-day diary of my undertaking as a part of this big plan and big journey that we are all on. Right, if anyone's not seen my latest video with Anders and my latest lesson, this probably looks like I've gone completely mad and that the pursuit of scratch golf has finally sent me over the edge. But actually, this is my new training aid. So in my lesson with Anders, he talked to me about pressure through the ground and weight shift, and we put half a tennis ball under my right heel and half a tennis ball under my left kind of toes / ball of my feet. So I'm going to make my new training aid and hopefully not cut my fingers off in the process. Nearly Pac-Man at the moment. There we go. So, I can take these to the range now, do some practice, see if I can start getting that lower body moving the way it's supposed to be. Right, the return of Winter League. Don't call it a comeback. Don't. Probably not going to go very well. But I'm feeling more confident than I have in the last week or two. I don't know if that will translate to the course, but the last lesson earlier this week was very good. Had a decent couple of practice sessions since then. Not as much as I would like, admittedly, due to life and weather circumstances. Today, once again, is going to very much put the winter in Winter League. It is whipping with wind. It is raining currently. It has been raining for most of the past 36 hours. Course has held up incredibly well recently in the rain. So I don't know what it'll be like today. Fingers crossed it'll be okay, but certainly wind, rain, cold, etc. is going to be a challenge. I've got several layers of thermals on and other layers in the boot to put on as well. So going to be one of those days. Fingers crossed our Winter League campaign can get properly started today.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
Yeah, I could use a dream or a genie or a wish to go back to a place much simpler than this. Cause after all the partying and smashing and crashing, and all the glitz and the glam and the fashion, and all the pandemonium and all the madness, there comes a time where you fade to the blackness. And when you staring at that phone in your lap, and you hoping but them people never call you back. But that's just how the story unfolds. You get another hand soon after you fold. And when your plans unravel in the sand, what would you wish for if you had one chance? So airplane, sorry I'm late. I'm on my way, so don't close that gate. If I don't make that, then I switch my flight, and I'll be right back at it by the end of the night.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I can really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I can really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
Yeah, somebody take me back to the days before this was a job, before I got paid, before it ever mattered what I had in my bank. Yeah, back when I was trying to get a tip at Subway, and back when I was rapping for the hell of it. But nowadays we rapping to stay relevant. I'm guessing that if we can make some wishes out of airplanes, then maybe, oh maybe I'll go back to the days before the politics that we call the rap game. And back when ain't nobody listened to my mixtape. And back before I tried to cover up my slang. But this is for Decatur, what's up, Bobby Ray? So can I get a wish to end the politics and get back to the music that started this shit? So here I stand, and then again I say, I'm hoping we can make some wishes out of airplanes.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I can really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I can really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
I could really use a wish right now, right now.
Okay, well this is why golf is such a ridiculous sport, because my score was, I'm not quite sure because it was better ball, a couple of pickups, etc., but probably 5 shots worse than when I played at Stratford Park. But I feel so much better about it, and conditions were tough. It actually ended up being quite sunny but incredibly windy. But I played much better than the score would suggest, and crucially, and this is why I feel optimistic, some of the stuff I was working on in my lesson from earlier this week showed up. So I felt like some of my shots, it was inconsistent, but some of them I could feel myself getting my weight through the ball. There were way more divots being taken than usual. I hit probably the greatest hybrid of my life. It was sporadic, And unfortunately, the short game, which has been bailing me out recently, let me down today. But the ball striking, my irons, I could feel it. I could feel something. Shots were going further. There was a degree of compression. I hit a couple of little very low flighted wedges, which just like bit and stuck. It's going to be a long road. And in no way have I found it. In no way am I saying I'm going to suddenly start getting much better. But I could feel progress. And I can see a path now, which I couldn't see a couple of weeks ago, even a week ago maybe. So I think this week's lesson and being able to at least see some of it out on the course so quickly put me in a better mind frame. So been a decent week. It's been a good week. The scores don't matter right now. The progress matters, and I feel like there was some there today. So onwards, upwards. Thank you for watching. And we go again.